Okay, I'm going to call to order the regular meeting of the Parks and Recreation Commission this Thursday, January 7th, 2021 at 6:01 p.m. So if we could have a roll call, please.
Chair Entner,
Present.
Vice Chair Taylor, Commissioner Firestone, Commissioner Jacobson,
Present.
and Youth Commissioner Duenas.
Here.
Okay, did we get Ryan? Okay, got it. Thanks. So the Pledge of Allegiance, if James Hahn would put a flag up for us. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We did not receive any public comments today, so we will move on from there to the police report, which I don't believe we are having either. And
if I could just quickly, I think both the police report and the public works report, we were planning to give, and they're both very brief. The public works, let me go in order. The police report, I think we had mentioned at the last meeting that we had those calls about the parties at the tennis courts. So the police department and our code enforcement, everything right now is kind of a combination of the two, all the COVID order enforcement. Had reached out to some of those groups, and we haven't had reports of them again recently. And then I think tying in with that, we had talked about updating the tennis court signage, which we have listed as a future agenda item, but I think that's a good idea. But we haven't had reports of those recently. And the other thing we did today, which ties in a little bit, although maybe not police, is that we added some signage at the skate park today about capacity. So those are kind of the two issues where we had received some concerns and comments about to our police department and our code enforcement.
okay, well, thank you for the update. Any comments from any of the commissioners? Okay, so we'll move on to consent items, which all that's on there this time is our minutes from our December 3rd meeting. Any comments, corrections? All right, if not, a motion to approve.
I'll approve.
Okay, and then a second?
I'll second.
Okay. I think Vicky got it. Okay, thanks. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, so minutes approved. Number 8, presentation, action, and discussion items. We really only have one item on there tonight, which is update regarding COVID-19 impacts on recreation. So I'm going to turn it over to the city manager to talk to us about that.
Thank you. And we're going to try to share my screen here quickly. Looks like it's working. Are you able to see this this recreation department programs for January?
Yes.
Okay. So Vicky has been working on programming, which I think we've talked about this, but one of the big challenges right now is just every day things change, and we get we get some programs set, and then there's a change, and then maybe the instructor wants to postpone or isn't comfortable holding the course yet, or there's just all these different factors right now. But I think we actually, under these circumstances, have a pretty decent group of programs at this point, and I think we're seeing a lot of signups for 2 of them in particular. So we kind of just wanted to walk through this, and I realized right now that it has some emails and phone numbers. Maybe I'll I'll walk through it. I'll stop sharing it. I don't know if those are public or not. So, so we currently have 5 current users of our COVID-19 park rental program. Those include yoga, taekwondo, kung fu, and a couple of other programs. And some of them, I know the commission knows this, but the commission had recommended that we reduce the fee from $20 per class to $20 a week to allow people to do multiple classes with one application. And so we're seeing that a lot of the programs right now have multiple days and multiple classes. The yoga goes Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8 to 9:30, and then Tuesday from 4 to 5:30. So, we're seeing good participation. There's not a whole lot of like new applicants coming in, but the people that have done it and tried it are coming back, which is, a positive. So we have those 5 fitness rental courses, and then we have recreation courses through our rec department, which include the adult strength, which is pretty consistent. It's a group of right now about 8 people that consistently sign up and participate. We have Aikido, we have dance, we have gymnastics, we have the Junior Naturalist Club, Tai Chi Chuan, Ventura County Fusion Soccer, and youth tennis. And the 2 really to highlight that are really going well and that are popular and in some cases have waiting lists is the gymnastics program. We have 5 groups right now with 58 enrolled students, and only get positive feedback, which is a rarity in this day and age. And we have a waiting list for that program, so that one's going really well. The challenge right now, we're looking to add a couple of courses, and it's just finding qualified, competent instructors that are willing and able to add some courses. So we're still looking at that, but right now we have a decent group there of about 58 students, and then our youth tennis is doing really well right now too, and has several courses that are maxed out. So there's not a whole lot of activity as could be expected under the circumstances, but the courses that we're offering, are filling up and getting good participation. And like I said, right now, to have programs going and hear only positive about them it seems like it's it's positive for us and positive for the community. So.
Thank you. I just also wanted to comment on the rental program. I just want to appreciate staff, you and Vicky both, for as things have changed, you've moved places around and you guys have adapted the picnic area to use those lights, which were already built in to allow them to, move through as the time change came. So I really, I think staff's doing a great job of doing what they can to make it work for everyone and make it as safe as possible. So thank you for that. And I think that all of those people using it really appreciate it too, because that creative thinking is really helpful. Because I hadn't, when you did that, I went, well, what a great idea. They took the tables out anyway, and the lights were already there. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yay.
Yeah, can I, under COVID, I guess I should have had my agenda in front of me. Can I introduce Mayor Sticks? I guess I shouldn't have done it under COVID, but you may have just heard Mayor Sticks is on the meeting. And do we have a place this week for commissioner comments?
For commissioner comments? Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, for council member liaison comment? I don't have it in front
Yes,
of me.
it's always on there, I think, generally.
Okay, cool. So
I say that as I
I'll
look.
wait to turn it over until that.
Well, in fact, we do not have
I had
that on our agenda today, do we? No. But go ahead. We'll finish up here with questions and then we'll move on to that. We would be happy to have you have a moment. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I echo what Sage said. Like, you guys are doing a great job of, making do with what we have. So thank you. I was wondering, for the programming that is being offered, is the website up to date with what's being offered?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. We have we don't have much staff right now in recreation. It's Vicky and me to some extent, but we have a web guru as well that's working with Vicky, who you probably know is Megan Sennett, and her and Vicky are keeping everything up to date and creating new flyers and all of that stuff.
Great.
So we're feeling pretty good about it. We just wish, like everybody, we could offer more and do more, of the regular activities.
Any other questions from commissioners? And as general update stuff, do you want to say anything about the testing? Because the testing is going on there at the park. Seems pretty regular, but is there anything anyone should know about that?
Yeah, thank you. Right now we have every Monday, we've coordinated with the county to have COVID testing at Sarzati Park. And there's definitely an uptick right now in how many people are attending, but the positive thing is about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, we worked with the county on fine tuning and some adjustments. And so I think everybody probably saw there was a week, maybe 3 weeks ago, where all the testing in the county had been shut down that day because of capacity or lack of supplies. But the one testing center open that day was Ojai, and then they only had like 40 or 50 tests. So there were some pictures that day of like huge lines of people waiting. But that was a knock on wood, a one-time occurrence. And since then it's been pretty smooth and good capacity. So we have that every Monday. And then we also this week can announce, we just coordinated this with the county, the school district, and the hospital, that we're going to have a special day of COVID testing Tuesday at Nordhoff High School.
Nice.
And we're going to have a capacity for about 275 people to come get tested. So I believe it starts at 10:30, but we're posting it on our website now. We're confirming that. So anybody in Ojai on Monday can go to Sarzati Park weekly, or next Tuesday, at this point, one time only at Nordhoff High School. So
Just so that's a one-time only on that Tuesday.
that
Okay.
was a one time only at this point. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Very good.
Raquel, we can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Has it been considered to keep that up regularly, even if it's like once a month, having like 2 days a week? Because I know that I was there on Monday and there were a lot of people in line.
Yeah.
I don't know what capacity is, nor was I standing there the whole time, but I just know that it is like a popular thing to go get tested, especially right now after the holidays.
Yeah, and that's what we've been advocating. Like the tests are done through county public health, and so we've been, and who has to oversee the whole county, and so we've been really pushing and advocating for more and more regular testing. That's how we got the Monday testing. The challenge right now, we've had a couple of conversations with them, is that they still, countywide, we do not have the testing capacity that we would like to have. And so several of our cities, mostly the smaller cities, we're basically sharing a person, and they it's the mobile unit that goes to 3 or 4 different cities. So we're going to keep advocating. And what they had told us originally when we got them out here was, they said that they didn't think that there would be enough demand in Ojai to justify coming every week. And the demand has been high enough that they now say, you're right, we need to be here every week. And so what we're hoping is, if the demand keeps being there, that at some point they'll expand and do more testing. So that's what we're trying to, we coordinated with them to have this special Tuesday testing. And we're hoping that, we start kind of getting some more testing. So.
And I don't know that the city is involved with this, but with the new governor's new, guidelines for schools that he's come out with, that they're trying to figure out how to implement, a lot of that has to do with testing. Is the city involved with that discussion with the county and the schools? And is this part of looking at how to make that happen, or is this just a separate issue this Tuesday?
So this is a separate issue this Tuesday, but part of that, part of us getting the testing here Monday was, we had been, telling the county we knew there was demand here, and we ended up partnering with the school district to say, we have this many students who need it, this many teachers who need it, and this many members of the community who need it. And so we are currently working with the school district to try to continue to kind of push forward, because we need more testing for school to really come back. It's just, once a week is not going to work. And the flip of that is that the county's main site right now is that Ventura County Fairgrounds mega testing site. And they, the belief is that is, centrally located and close enough for everybody. And, we hear a lot of positives that there's like a 15-minute, wait now, and it's very fast. But the thought process is that, that's a good location for everybody to be going to. And we just keep advocating because we know that a lot of people would have a challenge getting there. So we're going to keep working on that. I've talked recently to the superintendent about, making another push. So we'll keep trying. So.
Well, thanks for that work and that effort. Any other questions, comments from the commissioners? Okay, we'll move on to information items, which is recreation report, which really is there more than what's rolled into what you've just talked about?
That was pretty much everything. I don't know what Maricopa or the ATP demo project would fall under. Would this be a good time to talk about that?
Yes, let's hear about the ATP project.
It ties into the school and everything, right? So we are 1 month in, I think today, 1 month to the date, we're into our ATP demonstration project. I have self-corrected based on our conversation last time. I kept calling it the 6-month demonstration project, but we know at this point, under current circumstances, it's going to have to go longer than 6 months to get school feedback. So we are 1 month in. I'm sure we've all heard feedback, good, hopefully good and bad. But I know it's the hot topic. We're starting to hear more positive, which is a good sign. But it's a demonstration project. We're looking for feedback. The survey is still available and will be available the whole time. I know there's been a lot of comments about, the demonstration project is already designed, and the city would not be willing to look at possible design modifications or tweaks or things like that. And I think I can speak for the city council here to say that the plan is we're going to look at all that feedback. We're going to look at the results of this demonstration project. And I think there will be, openness to making modifications if needed. So we just keep asking everybody to provide their feedback. I think last I checked, we had about 250 survey responses in 1 month. So
yeah.
That's on our ATP website. Anybody can go on and fill out a survey. So we're 1 month in, and hopefully people get the chance to go out and drive it, and hopefully get the chance to ride their bikes or take a walk too. It's the one thing we try to remind people is the idea was it was multimodal, which means for cars, drivers, bicyclists, pedestrians. So it's ongoing.
Okay, thank you. Well, I will tell you that I have gone and parked and walked. So I've tried it out
as well.
Oh, go ahead.
Sure.
James, is there any coordination with the substation sheriff's department regarding any enforcement of the direction in which the bicycles are traveling? Have we coordinated any input from the street deputies? Because I know my biggest concern as a motorist is the many times that I'm, especially coming out of the intersection, turning left from Bond's, the liquor store there by Ben Franklin's.
Mm-hmm.
Bicyclists are coming naturally from the bike path from Ojai, and they're crossing at the crosswalk from the Ojai Valley inside over towards Vaughn's, and then they're continuing on that same side of the road, that'd be the south side of the road, but they're traveling in the north direction. And it really catches you off guard when you're not expecting, you're trying to maybe turn left and you have a bicyclist coming from the right, from Ojai, in the wrong direction. And I think that it's something that needs to be addressed as far as how enforcement is going to be regulated. I feel like the riders have a false sense of security because they're in a quote bike lane. And it's just, as a motorist, it's concerning to me. Would like to be proactive in making sure that, nothing bad happens.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the feedback. I think from my perspective, we're looking at adding some things, and we have added some things like some signage and things to try to make clear to people where it's 2 lanes, where it's 1 lane. We haven't coordinated with the Sheriff's Department for enforcement. I just, I don't anticipate that we'd ask the Sheriff's Department to enforce that. I think, it's going to be signage or modifications.
Or maybe not enforcement might be the wrong word, perhaps just their involvement in making sure that they're doing their part in educating, the public in the direction of travel that's safe. The bicycles are to follow the rules of the road. They're not supposed to be riding opposite of traffic. They're supposed to be riding with traffic. And it just is difficult when people are making those left-hand turns, whether you're down at Chase Bank or at Bonds, because you're not anticipating a bicyclist traveling from the opposite direction.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's something, like I said, we've added some signage and things there for the 2A bike lanes, but that's something we'll look closer at.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other questions or comments from commissioners? Okay, then we would move on to commissioner reports and comments, but how about, since we're lucky enough to have the mayor with us here today, we'll invite her to make some comments and to speak to us tonight.
Thank
all
you.
Thank you.
Lucky enough to have me. Thank you. Nice to meet you all. And first, I'm just really grateful to you for the work that you do, and for, I love parks. I love recreation. So that's a huge, what an asset to our community. So thank you. And thank you to James and Vicki for all the work you're doing and for keeping things going during COVID, because what a crazy time. And to still have so many options to go and enjoy the parks and move and enjoy nature is really, it's a gift. So thank you. And thanks for adding Tuesday, because I'm sorry, what, I'm trying to, Raquel. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I've heard from a lot of people that there's not enough testing. People need more, we need more testing. So thanks for being on that. And just thanks for just being on it during this weird time. It just keeps getting weirder every day. I look forward to getting to know all of you and moving things forward in a beautiful way for our town. So thank you. And please, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, please email me anytime.
Great. Thank you. Any questions for us?
Well, I'd love to hear about your plans and what projects you've been working on specifically. I don't know if this is perhaps the right time, because everything is sort of at this great pause in history. I look forward to, though, eventually hearing about the big picture. And
we definitely have big ideas, and they are on pause.
Okay, good.
Yes.
My dream, I'm sure you all have dreams about Soul Park and connecting the bike path and sky's the limit. So that's exciting.
Well, thank you for coming tonight and being here and speaking to us briefly. It's nice to see you here.
My pleasure. Anybody have any questions for me? Okay.
No question, but I wanted to thank you for coming. Hold on a second, dog, you're barking.
Well, thanks
Relax.
Hi.
Yeah.
You're braving what previous mayor has not.
Pardon me?
I said you're braving the meetings. That's something our previous mayor rarely ever did, and I appreciate it nonetheless. By the way, hi neighbor. Blocks from you.
Oh, really? Where do you live?
Granted.
You might not want to say your address on channel 10.
Right. But I met you when you were campaigning.
Yeah. So if I get egg tonight, I know where to find you. Well, I just want to, I've used parks. I've lived in cities, and I've just benefited so much in my lifetime from parks and taking my kids to parks. And it's huge. So we're really lucky to have the beautiful parks we have and to support them and grow them is really exciting to me. So thank you again.
Thank you. Okay, then we'll move on to commissioner reports and comments. Does anybody have anything they'd like to share? All right, not seeing anyone raising their hand or having anything to say. Oh, Eric, go ahead.
Now, the pool situation is at a standstill. It's going to be at a standstill for a while. I think I've been abandoned by a previous commissioner who is no longer on the ad hoc, and 2 previous managers that are no longer here. So I'm the last one left, and there's not much to talk about.
Okay, well, thank you for keeping us in the loop there with that. And so nothing else. Let's see. Future agenda items will be, unless I hear other things, the same that we had last month, which was bringing back the tennis court signage and the recreation element general plan update. Looking at that.
Yeah, can I kind of quickly on that point, with the current closure orders and circumstances, I think the recreation element will be one that, might get bumped a little bit, a couple months, but the tennis court signage, and then also one that I'd like to include with that, even though it's a little different, is the pickleball court signage. Now that we're kind of locked in on those hours and everything. So what Vicki and I are gonna try to do between now and the next meeting is get some draft signs together that we can send out to everybody, so they have some time to think and adjust. And then if it works on the next agenda, we can kind of walk through and talk about those.
Okay, that sounds good. Any other items from commissioners? Okay, well,
Can
go ahead.
can someone reach out to the sheriff's department? I would really like to get at least a little bit of a report on not necessarily violations, but I mean just updates on Libby Park and Sarasota as far as individual. I've seen crowds gathering at picnic tables and stuff, and I don't want to bother them at all, but I just wanted to make sure there wasn't any issues that have come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about it. A little bit more graffiti at Libby Park as well. But I'd like to get some kind of update.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Raquel?
I was gonna say maybe just like, it doesn't have to necessarily be an agenda item because I'm sure it's gonna get talked about, but just like an update on like how, like if we could get more COVID testing, because obviously it's not going away anytime soon, and I'm just curious to see if we could have like more availability.
Sure.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay, hearing no other agenda items to put out, we will adjourn this meeting at 6:28. Thank you.